What's up? No votes yet. That's cool. Have to open up chat anyway. I mean, you're open, but you're open on a different computer entirely. What the heck is happening? What? There's K-pop emotes right now? Through 1031, subscriber gift a sub to collect permanent K-pop emotes. Okay. What do they look like? Oh, they have one that looks like mine. I have K-pop emotes. It K-popped. There's 10 of them. To get them all, you need to cheer 5,000 or gift 20. Jeez Louise. $5K. Cannot cheer on your own channel. Okay, well, guess I'll never know. $100 for 10 emotes? That's nuts. I'm just going off of subs. That's too much. Of course you keep them all forever. What is this fact I'm reading? Moving on. I forgot I was trying to pop chat out. Now that I've popped it out, now I realize that I put 2 caps at the beginning. Lame. Maybe I made this poll too long. What do I vote? What do I want to write? If I continue with Wallace, I get to read all of Wallace. Oh, I should check the sound before I even do anything. Maybe you can't hear what I'm saying. Maybe I can't hear what I'm saying. Sounds fine. Oh god, I gotta vote. I can read this again. Perfect. Gives me filler. I don't have to write as much. Completely new path. I only get the first page, so I have to think of completely new things. This one, I wrote it, and you didn't. So that would be like unveiling it, which I would have to read it all, but I couldn't make changes anymore. I mean, I could, obviously, I can do anything, but I think I'll continue with Wallace. I think that's my vote. Sure. I'm winning. Trying to keep this big and readable. Hey, I won. Sick. I'm trying to keep this big and readable. Not have the little heart that's right here that I can't see on the actual screen. Maybe I should just put it on my screen. Wait, that seems stupid though. Have it not like block anything, and then have chat on, and also be able to read or see the Lizard Princess, because I think she's the most interesting. It could be like this, right? Where the guy's like checking it out. But I don't think it matters. So. She just seems so, you know, hyped. Anyway. Write some junk. How long does this stay up? Report poll. No, don't do it. I'm gonna get notifications. I'm gonna turn that off. I got security actions I gotta do. I can do that later. Let's read this. How many times have I read this now? Called Right Time, Wrong Place. For no reason. Because I don't have a title yet, basically. I'm going to try and read it without messing it up, because I have read it multiple times. And I have messed it up each time. Takes a while, so... get there, I guess. Ahem. Did I read this whole thing? It's one page, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. I guess I'll read it because I don't know the Wallace story well enough, right? The first page is the beginning of all of the other stories. All the stories, in fact. So, here we go. If there were a wind blowing through the desolate town, it would have lifted the faint veil of dust that draped across the plaza and all of its commodities. Trails of use and the passage of feet had etched into this layer an intricate brand that showed the pathways that the inhabitants favored. No tempest, however, would have been strong enough to lift the gloom that came to town with every nightfall. The denizens had all packed up smartly with the first lengthening shadows. The square was now almost bereft of any movement save the rays of light as they twinkled through the spaces between buildings. The fountain and its pool in the center of the yard was the only thing that showed no evidence of disruption. The spout held within the frieze was dry and cracked with scant age and use. Oof, I messed it up already. Shoot. Technically, I messed it up. Sentence 1. Anyway. The image on the stone itself was an intricately carved battle between two mounted troops. There appeared to be little difference between the sets of fighters, but that could have been attributed to wear and the erosion of time. The water in the pool around the base was stifled. Many things had been tossed or fallen into the murky depths. It had become a mire that few would dare to even consider agitating. Which I changed. It's different than the times I've read it before. Maybe I don't need to read this. A lone shopkeep was bustling through the debris outside of a worn stall with recently painted panels. His motions as he packed away trinkets were stilted and bordered on the edge of hectic. When a crate was full, he slapped a lid on it and all but tossed it into the inner space within the stall. The carpet laid beneath the awning for his guests' comfort was only half full by this time of his displays of wares. His shirt dropped against his back as it collected beads of sweat from his exertion. Proving a stark counterpoint to the man across the square, another man leaned placidly against a low stuccoed building. This man's gaze never wavered from the spot on the ground he'd apparently chosen to stare through. The cut of his tunic, the seam of his pants, even the curl of his hair indicated that he had a claim to wealth beyond the normal person's means. His lack of movement caused many to wonder if he'd somehow expired upright, though many others never took note of him at all. Indeed, the occasional burst of jubilance from the welcoming tavern caddy corner to the man's backrest never caused the man's steady gaze to flicker. A sign over the brightly outlined double doorway of this specific bustling building proclaimed, "Drop in, the Oasis in Heresy." It sat between the row of stalls on the left and the third and largest road into town on the right. The wide building boasted 6 windows on each side and enough light to illuminate the more shabby elements of the surrounding buildings. It was clearly well maintained and its trimmings were inviting. It seemed as though once the sun began to wane, there was no better place to be than within the sturdy walls of the Drop Inn. Alright, I'm not going to read all of Wallace, this is going to take forever, but I did change like random stuff all through this, so I realized that I should have read at least this first page because I changed a bunch of junk. Now it's canon. Not a bunch of big junk. I just, I changed stuff about this guy right here. He has a name, but we might not get there. So what I'm gonna do is not this story because that story's ended. Oh, I figured out how to do the freaking the footer. I knew there was a way to make a footer that was different than other pages, right? So I can make footers that end. So this is the end to the Stars story, but there's no footer here that ends Wallace's story after the first page because that wouldn't make any sense. So we continue with Wallace. Basically, he sneaks around to the back of the inn. Instead of going in through the front, he meets the owner of the inn and innkeeper. Her name is Rama. He earns 5 sphere because he works for her. Let's see right here. I think it's 5 sphere. I gotta make sure because she's gotta pay him. So pays 5 sphere and a night up, so he gets the night free. She tells him it's a cot. He says okay. They go in. He brings in some buckets full of water. There's some guys who are like guards or whatever, and one of them pukes, so Wallace has to clean it up. She thinks it's funny. He gets her food, and then gives him the key. Well, he has to get the key, but he gets the key to the first room, and he cleans up the puke. Haha, it's funny. Because there are no other people who are staying there. So he goes to the room. He opens up what for some reason we decided was an armoire. It's got two door things at the top and then drawers underneath. It might also be a dresser, but the word I chose was armoire. I don't know why. So inside it, he takes out this stone. It's gray. It's like a crystal or whatever. I imagine it flat. Anyway, it's gray. He sets it down. It opens up this thing called the listings, which is right here. The listings is part of an assassin list or whatever for really high paid assassins. He's on the list with his nickname. People have been tracking him apparently for quite a while. He's worth a whole lot of money. Money's called sphere. I worked out how sphere work, and I'll get into that, I guess. Then he goes to sleep. He sets out some knives and stuff and gets ready to fight. So since I chose this, we can have another vote or whatever. He's either going to set a trap, he's going to hide somehow, or he's gonna leave town. And I wrote meet Ring. Ring is the character that I wrote by myself. I think it's gonna be a good story, and I figured out how this book will work, because it didn't make sense to have like a million stories, even though that's what I originally intended. They have to like blend together at some point, and that way I can have more pages. We can tell other people's story by telling other people's story, you know what I mean? So I figured it out basically. So I'm gonna put, I don't know if this makes sense, whoops. I'm gonna put chapter 2 Wallace or something right here. Just because I don't know what to do. I don't know how it should be formatted. Like if this is chapter 1, it's only 5 pages, which is pretty short. But it came from the first thing, the first intro, so yeah. In chapter 2, he's gonna wake and get ready. I don't know what Learn Some Small Fact was from the last stream. He's definitely gotta help Rama, and he's gonna go and look at the stars. I decided all that stuff last time, so I guess I will make a vote. Why didn't it? Okay. Where does Wallace go? He's gonna look at the stars no matter what. Stars are the vendor. He's going to help Rama no matter what, and he's obviously gonna wake up and get ready no matter what. I don't know what this means, so he's definitely maybe not gonna do that because I have to make it up. So he's either going to set a trap in town. I'm just gonna write what is written here. Some sort of hiding thing. Or he's gonna leave town. $10 minutes? Alright, well, I didn't necessarily mean to set it for 10 minutes, but I do have to write all this stuff, so I guess it's 10 minutes now. Alright. Let's see. Dawn? When does an assassin wake up? Dawn, right? Or before? Probably before. Dawn crept into Wallace's bed chamber. A space. Dawn crept into Wallace's bed chamber. Like the murder. Or it would have it stole over a So this is something that I keep forgetting to do, but I really need to do. And I realized when I was reading a book yesterday or the day before or something that I haven't been doing it that much. Similes, metaphors, things like that. I think that if I use them more, I can say things like sphere and whatever the star salesman is called. I can like explain them better. And I haven't been really doing it, so I gotta focus on that more. And would have and been tired a lot, but I don't think that's gonna make him lazy. So hours maybe. Hours before the first rays attempted to pierce the trees around Heresy, because I made note of the rays that like shimmered or whatever because of the trees, so I want to call that into this story as well, because that was a different story. Let's see, hours before sunrise. What does he do? Do I need a comma? Hours before the first rays attempted to pierce the trees around Heresy, Wallace. Yeah, I think I need a comma. Wallace was... he's got to do some sort of like assassin-y kind of exercise thing. Meditation. Working through his forms. You're slow. Or handed. What's another word for working? Like going through the forms, working through the forms. I could make this like a craft. Like put a cap on forms basically and make it like sort of magic-y kind of thing. Like how Tai Chi focuses your chi or something, and I don't know a lot about it. But it like going through it, even if it's slow, centers you and junk. I could do the same thing for whatever Wallace is practicing, but also make it like a thing. I'll make it a thing, sure. The word form is in here a lot. Good grief. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any up there. Work is slow. What was later? Engaging in the forms. Tuned to their... How do they work? He's seen the... lazy, lackluster, complacent. That's it. Basically, if you practice the forms and you do them wrong, you might break your own body or something crazy like that. The craziest part is this paragraph took me 10 minutes. That's nuts. So he like works out or whatever. There was much to do. After a brief to keep the set a trap in town. All right, I got it. Well, I feel like I'm using too many commas in my sentences right now, so I'm gonna try and back away from that. So he how long's it been since I started a sentence with Wallace? None. Okay, up here somewhere. Wallace. Wallace wrapped his Here's the same thing I did in that first pull. I don't know why I hold shift for so long, but I shift like deep into the sentence. Like it might be 5 letters and I'm still holding shift for some reason. Should I leave? No, he'll never leave any blades anywhere, I don't think. Honk. He has a knife named Honk. because of Itro. Let's see where it is. I want to make sure I spell it right though. Wait, where is it? Oh, he had affectionately named this knife Honk. Okay, cool. He removed Honk from the drawer and if you have like a, what are those things called for ammo, like Bolero or whatever, if you have a bunch of knives in there, those aren't sheaths, right? It's like a strap and it has pockets basically. Yeah, I think that's right. We're gonna have to have like a chart that just has Wallace's body and all of his knives and like what they're all named and where they are. Cross his crossed. Across his decently cut travel wear, he crisscrossed a few severely worn straps and would throw basically, I just need him to seem, you know, poor and kind of like worn and well-traveled and all that stuff, so that, you know, people aren't just like, oh, look, here's a freaking rich guy, you know, whatever. Okay, so Wake and get ready. He's ready. Learn some small fact. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna delete it. We've chosen set a trap. I'm gonna wait until he's like actually ready, and then I'm gonna put this thing here. He's gotta help Rama open the inn or whatever, and then he'll set the trap. I want him to do stars right now though, so. Oh wait, you know what? I need to... to put this detail. He already smelled bread baking downstairs. Bread's important in this town because I don't know why. Bread's important for everyone, I guess. It's the basics, you know? Corn famine. What's up, Dots Gaming? I don't know if they have corn in Heresy, but maybe. We haven't had a poll yet to figure it out. Is there corn? Yes or no? I'll do it. I don't care. It doesn't change anything, but it gives me more time to write. Question. Is there corn in the cauldron? Yes. No. Yes, but it's called differently. Oh. It's something else. Okay. Yes, but it's different. Fine. Stupid poll. Still no. Oh god, it's 10 minutes. Oh well. Okay, I really got to change that for next time. This poll doesn't matter, but it's funny, so vote if you want. Eventually, I'll write about corn, I guess. Back to Wallace. He already smelled baking, bread baking downstairs. Yeah. Bread's important. Checking over. As if it was. What do you call those people who like own the apartments and then like go in and check on it and stuff? I mean, that's just the owner. As if it was the owner. Taking a tour. Check and noting damages. The landlord, yes! As if it was the landlord. Perfect. Thank you. Noting damages. To charge him for before he left. He's actually working at this inn, so he has to like he's just trying to, he's traveling and he's trying to make money basically while he travels, so he just stopped for a day or two. Faintly sweet. Probably a fair. What's up, Shelter? All right, anyway, I just had to get that smell of bread in there because it's important for later. Even if you never see me write about it, it's in my head. Look, is it me? Or in that poll, you see how it's like capitalized twice, the first two letters? Why do I keep doing that? Why can't I just capitalize a single letter? Or is the poll forcing me? How many pages? So I wrote on my own. So we're at 10 pages. There are now 3 stories, different stories. We're on Wallace. There's the Stars story, and then there's the one I wrote on my own. And they're all like, well, one's completed. The Stars story is completed, but the other 2 are like just the beginning. Very exciting. And it takes me forever to write anything, but yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set a trap. I'm gonna capitalize that. It's what was chosen. So right now we're voting on corn. This is a choose your own adventure, by the way. That's why there are multiple stories. Left it in the dark too. Yeah, that K-pop thing isn't me. Isn't that weird? It's like a it's like something Twitch is doing where if you gift subs or you gift or you like spend bits or whatever, you just get K-pop emotes. But for the record, you don't need that. Oops, there's a this is sort of one of the emotes already in there. So if you sub to me, you technically already have one. There you go. Perfect. Twitch trolls. If you mean like those bots or whatever, they're in here sometimes, but I just ban them. They don't talk about free subs in the if you are talking about the bots that come here, they tell me that I can become famous. And I'm always like, I'm alright. That'd be cool, but then I probably have to do more work, so you know. Just buy the book when it comes out. The pop-out thing saying get Amazon Prime? That's not on my channel? Maybe you can like deactivate it or something. Check your widgets. Maybe it's one of those. Yeah, sure. All right. In through the front of the... Okay. Three days too late for K-pop emotes? Oh man, unlucky. I like how this message, the one about bots, it doesn't have the sub badge in it, but all the rest have your sub badge. What is Twitch even doing? But he needed to... few things. Out front, what's happening out front? So I read the first part where he's, or you know, about the town or whatever, and then I just skimmed through this story. But basically, there's a bunch of like stalls on one side. There's a guardhouse. There's a pool in the center. It's basically our D&D campaign beginning because I already had it, and I was like, I mean, it's pretty basic, so why not start there? Out front, it appeared someone had begun to wash down. Large portion of the... I've said blanket and veil. I'll just look up blanket. World of Warcraft, together in adventure. This ad brought to you by the Thesaurus. Sheet, I guess is the word I want to use. I don't know if I've used it. I might change it. A large portion of the sheet of dust. Removed. Find the... Dang, I need to find another word for the pool. Freeze is the only word I have. It's like a big mural made out of stone. I don't know what those are. The carving, the whatever, I don't know. I should look that up too, I guess. Decoration, embellishment, architectural ornament. Yeah. Behind the ornamentation. Is there corn? Yes, and also yes. So there's definitely corn somewhere out there. We know there's an orchard. We know they have some sort of oats that make bread. But also there's corn, which is crazy because the cauldron is a giant desert in a hole. But sure, they can still have all this stuff as well, you know? Magic or something. A large portion of the sheet of dust was removed behind the ornamentation. Works for Atlas. Well, there you go. Now we have precedent. Behind the seemed. Can you use words like that? It seemed as if someone had used water from... It seemed, or rather reeked, as if someone had used... Yeah, wait, does that work? Is that a sentence? It seemed as if someone had used water from the pool. You can't see me, but I'm using my fingers. It reeked as if someone had used water from the pool. Wow, what a sentence. Surely no one had... Okay, so like I was saying before, I think the way that books get around this, because they're choose your own adventure, is that all of their stories are tied together, so that if you write for one thing, you can write for both tales, and then even if you pick two different paths, you can wind up at the same page reading the same stuff. I think that's how they do it. I don't know. I ordered a choose your own adventure just so I could figure it out. The one that's 400 pages, it's for like kids or something. I ordered it. I'm gonna find out how they did it. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm going to write it where, like, this is a story about Wallace. I wrote a story about Ring. At some point they can hang out together or whatever, but like events that happen in one story explain events that happen in another story, so that if you read the whole book, you get all the events. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know there's apps and stuff, but I wanted an actual book. It was $4, and I was like, dang, that's like $1 per 100 pages. So whatever. I don't even have to read it. I could just skim through it and be like, oh wow, okay. Anyway, so that's what I think I'm gonna do. So like, I know why the stones are wet. Ring story got the stones wet, but Ring story has never been on the channel, so other people don't know, but it's in here. You know, I think that's cool. Yeah. And that way I have to plan less, and I can allow chat to like make more choices, but also it doesn't force me to make as many stories, because that's so difficult. There would be like 90 different paths and 90 different endings or something crazy like that if it didn't all tie back together, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, here's what I'm thinking. The story with the stars is technically 2 pages, right? There's the initial page that all of them start with, and then 1 page. So if Wallace has like 9 breaks in his story where I allow you to choose things because I think Wallace is interesting and I want to see what happens, right? I can't possibly have 3 options at each break. That's 27 paths that Wallace could take, right? That's too many. But if they all come back or end either one, then it's fine. So like maybe that is like 100 endings. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, right? So like let's say at the end, at the very end, right? Wallace is a king. Okay, that's the end. That is the longest story. If you follow the path that leads to Wallace being a king, it's like 90 pages long, right? But if setting a trap kills him, then that story is only 12 pages long. And if some sort of hiding thing kills him, then that story is only 16 pages long. And if leaving town and meeting Ring leads to him being the king, then that's the path you have to take in order to get all the way. I don't know, man. It's this is really hard to like conceptualize, I think, which is why every time I think about it, I'm like, who cares? I'm just gonna write it and see what happens. So that's what I'm doing. I think that's the best way, but that gives a bunch of endings, like a ton of endings. So I think that making pieces that all fit together with 10 endings, like you said, is probably better, but I think it's a less exciting story. I don't know. Let's get some stars, man. Best. Reading it 10 times is more viable. What I imagine happening is like you're at the beginning. Boom, you're at the beginning. You read this page, you have 3 options, right? If you choose to sleep in the stall, I mean, I can already tell you what happens. It's only this page, and then there's the end, right? So if you choose, oh, I'm gonna sleep in a stall, I'm not gonna spend any money, and then you read this, and that's the end, you're obviously gonna go back and be like, well, clearly I made the wrong choice, so I should sneak around behind the inn, excuse me, and then you read Wallace's story, right? Do you necessarily go back when you have another choice, which is going to be right here, and figure out what the 3rd story is? Or do you continue and try and get all the way to the end of Wallace's story? I don't know. I guess that's up to you. But I think that's the point of choose your own adventure. When you make a choice and it stops going the way you want it to, you go back and try and find what you want to happen. I think. So yeah, exactly. Like you're like, "Oh, snap. You know, I thought he was going to be fighting if I went this way, but he's not fighting. He managed to escape it. I want to see a fight." So you go back, you know what I mean? Go back a couple. The hardest part, I think, is that this is digital right now, so like it's easy to read and it's easy to move around in, but it's hard to like I don't know. I don't have a feel like you're saying where multiple fingers. I don't know. Anyway, stars. You need to move that onto my typewriter. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine hearing like the click, 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 which you probably still hear of my keys, but then me messing up and going, oh crap. Let me get a new page in here. Yeah. I've changed the first page multiple times. Past I don't know what it looks like. Hold on. I gotta read the stall of the stars. Sleep in a stall. Its panels are clean with small stars painted on alternating purple and blue fronts. There's nothing sitting on the counter. There are small bottles lined on the shelving in the back. There's no signage. Okay, so it's purple and blue, and it has stars on it. Purple and blue paneled. I feel like I've said stall a bunch of times. Shop space. Stall. That's not the way I want to use it. I want to use it as a noun. Dang it. Purple and blue paneled shop space is painted on veneer. It's got globes and stars on it. What sucks is I have to explain it again, even though I've already explained it, because this is a completely different story. And if you didn't read that one, I still want you to know what you're looking at here. So it feels like I'm repeating myself, which I hate doing, but I know you didn't read it. It It would appear that this shop sells glassware based on the tubes and vials lined up on the shelves. There is no signage other indication to the contrary. But what's cool is if you did read the Super Short Stars story, then you already know what's in the vials. How does that change things? Does it? It doesn't, I don't think. Stop. Over in a manor? Across the carpeted. Erupted? No. Oh, I forgot something. He already smelled baking. He exited through the front of the building. That doesn't fit there. Where can I say that there is no wind? I'll just say it at the end, actually. Bent over in an odd manner across the carpeted interior. It's a glom. I don't know what that is exactly. It's like a snake with arms. The shopkeep is a glom. With the glom straightened with a box of glass. No. Summer so early. Beamed? I want him, like, he's a different race. I want him to be super nice and like happy and kind and stuff. Good morning. Maybe I can get a bunch of S's in here. Salutations? Ha, that's funny. Is there a synonym for good that starts with S? Spanking. Superior, satisfactory, superb. What about honorable? Salutations, sir. I sincerely haven't drained your patience. Salutations, sir. I sincerely hope I haven't strained your patience waiting. I think it's silly to put a bunch of S's in the snake's mouth, but it's, I don't know, it's funny. He's kind of snaky, kind of lizardy. I'm gonna look up lizard and snake. Handbag, what is this? As in purse? Why would I want as in purse? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Serpent. Viper. Basilisk. Dragon. Reptile. Reptile works. Cheater. Why? Why would you put con artist, snake, rascal, louse, reptilian, gentleman, spoke in earnest? Well, love? Crinkled even above his eyes. There doesn't have to be an and, right? His wide smile crinkled even above his eyes. What manner of... What sort? What sort of shape should glassware real quick? Forks, knives, spoons, utensils. Is that glassware? No, that's tableware. Urn? Maybe urn? Large jar? Cistern? Okay, that's too big, I think. What shape should a vase take? What sort of shape should a vase take to satisfy you? My humble space. I'm looking for a star. Said? Oh gosh. The word said is so... like... I don't know. Like you say said a lot, right? But you're always also looking for synonyms for said. But everyone knows when you use a synonym for said, what you mean is said. So, why not say said? indicating he the true purpose of the He's looking for stars. Stars are in the vials. Certainly. What did I say before? The serpent or something? Reptilian gentleman? He... This. Understand his trade. He's a shaman or something? What did I write? I don't even know what I wrote. I'll just read the whole thing. That way I know what the heck I'm talking about. If you had chosen to sleep in a stall on the first night, you would have achieved this. Along the row of stalls set up for the marketplace, you notice one that remains open even at this darkening hour. Its panels are remotely clean with small stars painted on the alternating purple and blue fronts. Although there is nothing sitting upon the counter, there are small, seemingly empty bottles lined up on shelving across the back. There's no signage indicating the name of the shop nor its owner anywhere on the woodwork. As you approach, the frantically packing vendor pauses in his work to glance at you. When he sees you look over at him from in front of the starred stall, he jerks back into motion around his area. Neither he nor the man leaning against the wall look in your direction again. Since it's open and apparently empty, it would probably serve as a place to bunk down for the night out of the elements. Even though there's no wind, this area seems to draw the moisture out of skin exposed to the nighttime air. I forgot about that. Moisture seems to be drawn from almost everything, in fact, except for the scum-covered pond in this town. I don't need it seems. I've never read this except for the first time. The wooden flooring within the stall may not rival the comfort of the beds in the inn, but it's a level space to lay out your bedroll. You climb in over the waist-high counter and do just that. The final sunlight glinting off the empty bottles gives the appearance that there are stalls inside the stall as well. Stars? They twinkle you to sleep earlier than you've slumbered in many nights. You startle awake. There's nothing to see as the lights from even the tavern have been turned low. You reach in the dark for a wall of comfort. Your fingertips find none. Starting low on the edge of your hearing, you faintly grasp a whispering sound. It grows in volume as it seems to creep nearer. The whispers become a steady friction noise as of something sliding across the boards of the stall. The bottles begin to glow faintly. From one shadowed corner seems to emerge a serpentine figure. It's a glom, a snake-like humanoid whose race tends towards shamanism. His form coalesces before you, holding a cloth bag in its hand. The bag glows with several lights, just as the bottles on the walls do. When he's fully realized, he scowls down at your supine form. Sometimes customers visit this late, but here I find the product waiting patiently for my arrival, long after the world has gone to bed. The glom breathes into your face. He grabs the cloth of your tunic as you produce a single yelp. Before the second noise can escape your lungs, his other hand covers your face. As he lets you go, your ka seeps out of your orifices and into a glowing ball within his hand. He flicks a jar open and slides you inside. Your bottle is placed next to the other new acquisitions on the shelves. The glom turns back to your lifeless body and lowers itself next to it. It swallows your corpse whole, adventuring gear and all. In the coming days, it will discreetly cough up your armor that it can't digest. It emits a hissing, whistled tune as it finishes up polishing its wares for the early morning customers who frequent this stall. Got it. Okay. I forgot. Certainly. I'm looking for a star. Certainly. I have several wonderful blends. Motions towards the back of the area where the bottles are clustered heaviest. A red star. All its intones. It's got to be like important. He's got to intone it. Oh, sir. Surely you do not suspect that what should his name be? That Dushata? Should be, no, Dushata. Sid? It can't be Sid, sorry. Already named. I just took parts of both your names. Thanks. Stoop to. What's cool about this is that, like everything that happens that I'm putting in, like something happened in chat, you know? So even if you didn't vote, like the innkeeper is named after one of Brachus's emotes. Stuff like that. That's so cool. Like, if you were here, you know, and if you weren't here, you don't know. So like it's a secret club of writers or something. Brachus has emote. Oh, sorry. He used one. Yeah, I don't even know what it looked like. But he used some emo, and I just clicked on it, and it said, like, the beginning, and then whatever it was, you know? How mine's, like, have heart something. The one he used said Rama something. But I think it's Rama, but I'm saying Rama because it is what it is. I don't know. Would stoop to sell. I need a word that's like not banned, but restricted. Suppressed. Suppressed goods. Outside of Also, I don't. Oh gosh. A-L-A-R-N? What the heck is the capital city named? Oh gosh. It's not down here. I thought it was like Alarna. No, Desert Inn thingy is where we are. Listings somewhere in here. All right, I'm just gonna write capital city. I did try and control F, but I don't know what it is, so I tried to search. I wrote it somewhere. I'll have to find it. He proclaimed low. Wasn't the inn named? No, you named the inn. You named it the Drop Inn. The city is heresy, but we're not in the capital. I can't remember which person was going to or came from the capital, but one of them did. So the capital name is here somewhere, and obviously they would make the rules about stars. So it's around here somewhere. I just can't remember what it is. I have to find it. No, I named it. I think it's Alarna, but I searched for that and didn't see it. So I don't know what it is. That's not it. That's that's the next emo. How did you know? A crack sliced. That. I assume you can't hear the lawnmower, but if you can, I apologize. I can hear it. It's crazy. I think it's a weed eater, actually, or like a blower or something. A crack sliced through one of the bottles set upon the counter before Wallace. It appeared without warning, leaving the bottle neatly without disturbing it, without toppling it. That's it. I can't have it twice in the sentence and have it mean two different things. It appeared without warning, cleaving the bottle neatly in two without toppling the glass. Wallace pulled the what's it called? The sleeve? He's got crazy martial arts, right? So why not use them? A crack sliced through one of the bottles set upon the counter before Wallace. It appeared without warning, cleaving the bottle neatly in two without toppling the glass. Wallace pulled the sleeve of his outer coat up over his wrist, which was briefly exposed. Outraged. Where's? Ugh, my. Please do not disrupt my products such. Saving grace is that. Is there a word for empty that starts with S? Empty. Stark? No, that's not right. Devoid, clear, forsaken. Exhausted? It could be exhausted. Dissipated. I'll just take empty. Because empty is for sure empty. Outraged, the glom hissed, sir. Please do not disrupt my product such. Your saving grace is that it was empty. Was an empty flask. How about that? Switched the what are they called? Pieces? I'll just go with pieces. Waiting. I know. Oh, whoops. I know. Wallace said clearly. I can tell. So if this snake person is a shaman who can put souls into vessels, I really wanted to talk more about like the blend and stuff. I have several wonderful motioned these here are excellent blue silver. Just here I have radiant gold. Golden blue with touch of green. I want Wallace to be able to tell the difference between them all so that the one he broke he knew was empty, and he'll know if he gets the one he's looking for. stopped short is, let's look for a new word for outrage too. Anger? Anger works. Only so many were. Only, I want to say like people who aren't glom being able to see is rare outside of the, let's give him a shamanistic kind of, I'll just go with Tubane. Only so many outside of the Tubane were both educated and provided. Not value, it's not contents either. What it's made of, constituent elements, I guess. We have this crazy like lore behind everything that's happening that I have to explain, I guess, eventually. Maybe not, you know? No one unable to see them would be brave enough to claim otherwise. So he's got to say that he has some, right? Because he does have some. He's got stars from all places. I did set hands upon some days? Does the phrase day's breadth mean anything? It would be like day's length and breadth. So length is amount of time, breadth would be, I don't think that makes sense. I'm gonna write it anyway and I'll probably change it. Day's breadth ago. I didn't. I must confess, I have them. Don't. Serpent. Oh, geez. Serpent's fingers. Didn't I look up glass earlier? I did, I think. Jar. Jar works. Serpent's fingers laid a jar upon the counter. The right. What was this one? No. Wallace's eyes. This one. Load a faint red. Red? Vermilion? That's not even the right word. Coral? Rose? Everyone's gonna use like scarlet. Oh, vermilion. Holy snap. Thought that as soon as I said it, I was like, that can't be right. Jeez. I'm gonna change my channel name to Habithosaurus. That's me. Cardinal? I'll take coral. As the I keep changing whether I want it to be capitalized or not when I say glom. I don't know. I'll have to look at other races and like centaur. If someone was writing centaur, they wouldn't capitalize it. So I don't think I will. As the glom said, the bottles on the shelves in a range of colors. Or empty. Probably used to. Yeah, you wouldn't capitalize. Yeah, you're right. I'll have to go back and change it. I know I capitalized it in other places, so I'll have to ditch the cap G. Maybe if I ever read this again. Gob was saying that what we should do is, like, I should get some people together to just read the lines of like the different characters so that it's not me, and then I could just read the whole thing and they could read the character lines or whatever, and then it would be like he was saying putting on a play, but since the stories are getting longer and longer, I don't know about that. They're not getting that much longer because I'm writing so slow, but still. Somewhere empty, probably used to sell to locals. There. 14 ball. And fine. Especially after pronouncing such a hefty sum. Can't say coin purse. Huh. What do you say? Oh, I don't know the answer. If they're not coins, what do you call it? Sphere purse? What if I call it a sphere purse? Oh man, that would be funny. Hold on, let me look at how you write coin purse. Is it one word or two? Coin purse. 2 words. So... sphere purse. The real one. Not... Extract, brigands. Lately, because he cut off that kid's fingers or whatever, who tried to rob him. Then he got in trouble. From within, he produced. Did I say 14 ball? What's? How many sphere is that? Let me do some math. It's 8 times 4 is that 104? 112. Wow. Awkward. Yeah. 32. I know. I was thinking 6 in my head. So sphere are these apparently really stupid form of currency according to Slick, but they're like balls and they have a flat piece. And I figured out yesterday how to make the next biggest thing. So you have like silver pieces and then gold pieces. You have sphere and then you have ball. And ball is 8, sphere, because they're slightly magnetic, so they kind of stick together, but only in a specific orientation. So if you put 8 of them together, you make like a, what's it called, octahedron or something inside that's empty, and they all stick together and make a ball, which is crazy because for working, well, I guess it's just a day. Maybe I should lower the amount Wallace makes. No, but she's rich. I think it makes sense. Okay, it's fine. Produced the clump. Uh, 100 and a hefty sum for any individual item. So let's say he works a day. Rich place earns 5 sphere for the day. Spends what, like 2 or 3 or something on a meal. Let's say sleeping there would cost him 4, so probably 2 for a meal. So most people are probably running 1 sphere for a lot of stuff, or less, but I don't know what less is because I haven't made it up yet. So 112 is like over a month-ish salary at a rich place, or rent for a whole month. So it would be like, okay, I was thinking it would be even more than that, but cost of living's weird, so we'll call it 112, whatever. 14. Sure, yeah, wow, we have a currency system now. Paid it without. The bombs. The Glomsgren was back, though T with thank you, sir. Thank you. It is with is that this will serve well with the blessing of the I don't know how it works. I'm just gonna write that because it's got S's in it. Sure, why not? Bowed formally, though not low. Before. May the Tuvain strengthen you. Did I use in tone? Yeah, I did. Recite? Sure. All right, cool. That took way longer than I thought it would, but I had to like work out stuff and I write slow. So He's got to help Rama now. Then he's gonna set a trap. What sort of trap? What sort of trap? So if he's helping Rama, what's he gonna do? He found Rama bustling around behind. So what did I say? Her room, small room, back door, and then there's like the short bar, mostly for plating, but also drinks. Kitchen. Behind the, oh yeah, okay, door. Do the, yeah. She's got to have bread, obviously. What else does she have? Some sort of corn dish, I guess. I would assume that they, even if they don't have customers, they probably sell food for the lunchtime. People come in, do some selling or whatever to town, come into town, do some selling, maybe break for lunch if you're rich. But it's the guards that she's making money off of. The guards aren't in town, even though there is a guardhouse. So she's not making a ton of food then. Maybe like 1 or 2 extra meals, maybe some stew for later, like a bird or something for midday. It's breakfast, so she's got to make breakfast as well for her and Wallace. So she's working on bread that's already basically made, and oats. I got it. The bread had been pulled from the... Did he cook it in an oven? Yes. The bread had been pulled from the oven and that's a cool. All this basin before although everything's warm here all the time. It's a desert. Oh well. It's got good ventilation, I'm sure. It's a well-built building. Wash his hands in the basin before he... Just like the glom, he's putting on the nice guy face. So he's gonna say like, good morning, I guess. Good morning, ma'am. How does he say it though? Good morning, ma'am. Said a little reverentially. Gin. The cooking food? The, yeah, sure. Cooking food. Lifting his spirits. Smells wonderful. Glad you're up early. Dang it. These quotes, I always put the space in, Rama. Got plenty. You're just the man for the job. I'll leave your here in the cubby for your key. Oh wait, she's gotta tell him what to do first. Okay, so she's going to do other stuff, but she needs to tell him what to do in the kitchen. It's dried flakes, breakfast, then could you spit and roast a couple ducks from the it's like a ready room is what we'll call it. You know how to do that? Wallace nodded. He'd been the art of survival alone and the cooking vastly different, but many times the skills both overlapped. Perfect. Excellent. Could you pull more flakes? That for the day? Leave your sphere in the cubby for your key. already left before half of these words out of her mouth. She expected the work done. Was it? Based a moment time she was paying. All is prepared. The fire. Chimney? Fireplace? Cook place? Fireplace? I'll go with cooking chimney. It sounds so explanatory. Bit 2 ducks already feathered. Wait, is it feathered or defeathered? Feathered. Oops. Maybe that's not a word. Unfeathered? That's definitely not a word. The 2 ducks he found already feathered. Already found with the feathers already removed in the bow. They would make them a succulent. He grabbed basket. Here's the basket full of ears of corn and rapidly deflaked them. The proper application of a knife could pour an entire row of flakes off in a proper. So corn grows flakes, not those weird kernels. It's like cornflakes already. Once the drying process created a firm and egg that could be milled or Cool. Brief meal of just flakes in. That about own venture? Is it a venture? I guess. Undertaking? Yeah. Okay, so right here is where it happens. Center here, we have set a trap. I don't know what page they are yet because we're right here. Down. I don't know about this hiding thing. I might change it to something else. But here we are. Maybe it could just be 2, right? Like it doesn't have to always be 3. Sometimes it could be 19 different choices or something. A brief meal of just such flakes and broth. Wallace said about his own venture. Someone would surely be coming after the on fire alert inadvertently lit in lesser of true concern was claim his list further their own career. Yeah. Go claim real quick. About to say it again and I don't want to. Property right demanded or reserved. Demand maintain. Wait, what? Are these not the same thing? Basically. Anyone who could Mort list able to any position. Higher. Any value for skills. Pleasant. Just a step up. A step to the top. You made him an assassin I made him the best assassin. And I spelled no. Anyone who could produce more on their list would be able to take any position. Do require. This has to be page number? All right, I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna take a break, stretch. It's been 2.5 hours almost, and I have like 2 pages. We'll call it 3 pages. Thanks. All right. Be sure to stretch and all that junk or whatever you have to do. I don't know. It's your life. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna let my dog go out and stuff. Hopefully there's music. It's in a weird place right now. I'll be back. Alright, let's set a trap. How does one set a trap? You can't predict who's coming. Can't predict who's coming, but he's done this for his whole life, right? Or not for his whole life, but like he's an expert. So what's he gonna do? Gonna procure what he needs, obviously. Going to well, let's just work it out. To prepare. Prepare for an encounter with Wallace wanted to catch as many gray strands of possibility than his. Sure, I don't know what that means exactly, but let's do it. Gosh, I don't know. Basically, got to prepare for everything. Puss. At the moment, he really only had a rented room. Glom help. Okay. Glom help. Glom help. How does a glom help? What's he gonna do? Suck the soul of the person out? But How does that help? I just put a bunch of random stuff in there. I don't know either. Just gonna make it work. Let me think. The Glom is a shaman. Help fail? He might fail. I got it. All right. I got it. 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 Don't worry. Everybody stand back. How do I get there, though? How do I get there? If it was a form, then he would be really screwed. Okay. Not what I meant, but okay. Of course. Years of disturb. Piece of the he obviously doesn't want to mess with his room, right? Like, that would be rude. What would I do? How do I get to where I'm thinking? Let's cut the little this. only him in the case of a brawl. He left the front of the inn. Build along with the townsfolk. Now that there was light and someone, yeah. Nope. Now that there was light and what do you call people who buy things? Buyers, obviously, but like not purchasers. Customers. Duh. The hands all had hawkers and merchants calling patrons. Yeah, true. I might say it again, so I'll just keep it. Almost all had hawkers and merchants calling wares. Gossiped with their neighbors. Jabbed at underripe produce or laughed. Familiarity. Sounds like heresy. Sure, it's a nice place, right? Most of the time, unless it's dark. Wallace poked and searched for just the right collection of gear implements might use. There was a wide selection of fruits and foodstuffs. Repair materials, I guess, and sources? I don't know. Cloth and textiles. The not implements, the tools used in the trades of death. Almost non-existent. Really? There's no... What the heck? First it told me this wasn't a word that was written like this. Then it tells me that I'm splitting it incorrectly and I should put it back together. Come on, Google Docs. Okay, so flawless. Left the square. He had made no purchases. Finding nothing that might help. Turned. Is it north? Asked north onto the road past the he walked at a quick clip, covering leagues of the sun peaked, began to fall. After hours of walking and moved the shade. Does the type of tree matter? No, because I don't know anything about types of trees. So, underneath a spreading. The branches height sat to meditate. No, he worked the forms before he sat to meditate. It was several hours before the first inkling of his pursuit caught up to. How do they attack him? He's a world-renowned master assassin. He'd shown in town. His face, but discerning eye. Gossips? Patrons, sure to chatter about him. Square. He had no doubt. No, that doesn't matter. Several hours before the first inkling of his pursuit up to him. What do you do? Do I introduce something new? Do I use magic? What do we know? Master assassins have sight that's beyond other people's. They have forms, which are like ninja abilities or something. They have weapons, obviously. The form move gouged the split out a chunk hands wide. There. Oh. Slide out. Or even simply almost oriented where it might have originated and there. Back blistering bullet of force. While it missed at this Did draw. Did draw. Arth to the open. Sure. Young, lean, and tall. Sure. Impeccable? Impeccable? Always. His signature. 3/4 sleeve. Embroidered with tigers. No. Dragons? No. What's an animal? Like a wolverine? Puma? Snakes. There's too many snakes already. Let's go with a bird. Let's go hawks. Let's just go hawks. Embroidered with golden hawks on black velvet? Fight his youth. It's just as much a master of the form. Moved towards and with menace. Alice didn't. Be no flowery words. Grand battle. First strike. Surely kill the other man. Because that's how it is, right? When you're super powered, just kill people. Boom. If you manage to hit, you win. Oh, whipped leg form. Earth. All as his. It didn't appear that. What do you do when something like straight up and down is coming at you? Move to the side, obviously. Slid to the right of the blade of air, I guess is what it is, right? Cracked both. Forward. I guess I should name the forms, right? Because they're like a martial art, and all martial arts have like names and junk, but I don't think I can handle that. So we'll do that later. So you like good. With no direction to move. Crack. What does Wallace do? Wallace. Mouth of form? Sure, maybe you can do that. The force to make a short like a timered wall, like a short, like a I'm just gonna go with short. Like the strikes. This often left the desperately hoping to draw. Draw? It was incredibly difficult to perform without collapsing. Sure. So we have a crack, kick, sidestep, fist kind of punches, shield, shield goes. Cart's been moving forward the whole time. He sliced a hand horizontally. First full movement that either had made. Like another word for whip. 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 Lashed in. Game just his shield of wall. Slice. Whoosh. Sure. Well, this is. I've started. The. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't know if I can write this, actually. Well, it would happen in a video game, so I can write it, right? Sure. Yeah. Sorry, Twitch, if you ban me. It's my bad. In on the front of wall. How do you say it? Like, forward? Beard. Growing. Oh. Beard. Attempting to. No. Beard, he was bearing a croak. Frog wood. Filling his. I don't know what frog's anatomy is, so I don't know what that thing is called. I guess I could look it up, but I don't really want to. Filling his. What's another word for neck? I might need a lot of those. Yeah, cape. Collar. Throat, yeah. It's gotta be throat. Filling his throat. There. True. Inconceivably. Spewing. Spewing his. Out and down. The strike head. No. Wallace's skin had resisted the strike, but his flesh underneath lapsed. Blood? Settling down. What does that pose? Like a sitting kneel? Garth drew up just outside the splatter. Moments. Assassin's light. Never be too sure, despite the evidence. He was satisfied. He placed his... Dang, I don't have a word for the stone. What's the stone called? I guess listing stone. Listing stone on the ground. Scratched out. So Wallace hid his. This guy's using his right in the open. Does it matter? I guess not, because he just killed a dude, but... Any observer consequential. Scratch more out at the top. The setting sun made the name flare for the Interesting. Good. Word. I think Theresy is north. Theresy is east. Heresy is south. I can't remember what that other place is. It was supposed to be a joke. So... north toward... well, it doesn't matter. Because he's doing his own thing, right? But... how do we know what happened? Wallace is dead. Because Wallace isn't dead. Because he's a master assassin. And he had a glom. Did I put a chapter in this thing? I did. Okay. Chap 3. Wallace. The sun had fully set before. Ascended the tree. Bone weary. With steps that didn't leave prints. Checked. Laying bent double. It was a difficult thing to Golem? Could convey. Earth. Luckily, the red helped. The at you the I'm trying to say. Luckily, the red star helped give the statue living. Was a waste of, but the star had already. known, someone would surely follow him. Arth and be quick to pick the forms were never designed for like had employed them, had to try and in what is then he'd niched the forms he'd have used to spawned and suspended them in the air. Pretty sure his left fractured and have trouble speaking for Wallace unleashed all 26 other forms he'd directed into the other possibilities. All at once. Creating a small shock wave. All directions in I said directions a lot. In all orientations. Except Athkarth taken. Let's see here. It was quite a lengthy travel back to Harris. By the time you made it, Several stumbles. Clothing was quite a bit closer to the disguise. Portray. Hold on, wait a second. And if in all right, so end of, let's see, we got one night, so end of 2 nights, wind starts blowing. I gotta remember that for later. Made it, including several songs. The drop in was well lit. You made it. Yeah, that's it. I'm here to answer your WoW questions. That's what I'm here for. I have to do Headless Horseman. Reputation's different between them all, but it counts if you hit Exalted for the achievements. So if your character needs like a specific recipe from a specific rep vendor, then they have to grind that rep up. But if you're doing it for things like mounts or something, then you get that mount or you get that achievement, and that is shared between them all. Most people who grind like alts up, they only do specific reputation for whatever their alt needs. So like an engineer might need a specific reputation, but maybe like a tailor doesn't or something. If you change tunes to world quest change, I don't think so. I haven't played with alts very much at the top because I quit for a while. So I know you can do world quests over and over. I don't know if there's like differences. I would assume not. Like you can do... No. They're the same. Yeah. Because they're on timers. I think. You're gonna find probably that you can't do the pet ones. Can you do the pet ones multiple times? That would be cracked if you could. I don't know if you can or not. Okay, great. Thanks for stopping by for Monday WoW Frequently Asked Questions Day. If you haven't and you do play WoW, definitely check out the Halloween stuff. There's a bunch of pets. No, there's 2 pets, a mount, and a bunch of toys. Specifically, one of those toys is super dope. I tried it out yesterday. It is a Hearthstone look. And basically, if you have a Hearthstone toy, you don't have to carry a Hearthstone because you just use the toy. And the one for Halloween is pretty cool. It puts fire around your feet or whatever while you're casting Hearthstone, and then there's like bats or something that fly around. It's way better than the Brewfest one. I didn't like the Brewfest one at all. Yep. Been Monday WoW Tips Day. You're late for dinner service. Hollered when he walked in. Walked in through the double doorway. What service? Wallace laughed as he looked around at the empty it's not a hall, it's obviously a room, but like a wow, cool castle. Thanks, Nightbot. Wallace proclaimed with an honest laugh as he looked around the empty room. Right. I thought you'd skipped down. You look terrible. Wallace dusted his tunic lightly. I feel terrible. I gotta figure out what she told or what he told her. Hold on. Oh god, he said his name. All right. Trauma turned back. Basin. What is she rinsing? Wash your hands. Have some dinner and then plenty of wood that needs splitting. Here I can split wood wood right now. I'd have a meal. Yeah. Happily have a meal. I hate the way that sentence goes. I'll have to think about how to say that better. Food's not free. Neither's the room. Thank you. Good. Sleep for a week. I guess they have weeks there. Sleep for days. I'll just say days because I don't know about the week thing. Take a good stew. I did say stew earlier. Did make duck. Yeah. Happily. Not sure I could split wood right now. But turning down a fine stew might kill me. You make me laugh, me. Ragged form. I didn't beg you for a week, though. Oh, I'll need at least a little kindling. She's so mean. I'm sure I'll... Explore aisle. I don't want to explore, I just want to fix it. I was thinking of going by a nickname. You can think. If big time. Spending some time here? Thinking of going by a nickname if I'll be spending some time here. I think that the, like, what's it called? Not the act, but like, you know when you sit around and come up with like nicknames or like baby names or whatever? I think people love that junk. Like just hanging out and just shooting out a bunch of names. Banter, yeah. My estate probably should have come up with nicknames sooner. No, Rama. Sure shot. Think on it. Maybe something fluffy. Oh man. If it comes with a second helping, sure, I'd then take sure I'd take a fluffy nickname. Groaned Wallace. It seemed no. Correct. During a laugh. Jeez. It was late into the chop logs. Okay. Fires. He only made it through 7. He'd been firing increasingly outlandish nicknames. Only one had seemed to stick so far. Only one had seemed to stick so far. Oh, what would we call Wallace, the former assassin, now dead, currently working at a tavern called the Drop Inn in a town called Heresy, moderately wealthy but not rich, working for small-time pay. His nickname would be sort of fluffy, which is or we can make this a love story that we never see the end of, because I don't really want to write a love story, and I don't think they're good together. Alright, let's do that instead. She briefly called him my pet? I don't know. Before she earnest blush. Oh god, it's too long. Oh well. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm hot. It's hot in this room, okay? Dang it. All right, let me see if this all flows together in junk. Oh god, it's so long. Wait, when did I get to 15 pages? Well, one of them's completely blank, so it's 14. This is the story of Ring. It's only 2 pages. I'm gonna have to read through this and like make sure it's like it makes sense, you know what I mean? But if this is the spot where he could leave town and continue the story, or he sets a trap. Setting a trap means he stays in town for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. I hadn't really thought of love story. I wanted more adventure, but there's got to be love, right? So maybe he stays. Maybe he finds a nickname, settles down, hangs out, gets a job doing something that probably isn't working at the inn because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on like in the underneath, sort of. that I haven't talked about yet, but I'll tie in portions of this story to the other stories so that even if you don't follow this story, like the wind coming back, that has to happen in every single story because, like, it should occur that way, which is different than what I had originally intended. It was supposed to be every story was different before, but I still don't think that's gonna work. I have to put in a page break right here. Right here, insert, break, section break. What? Okay. Wait, what? Footer, section 3. Okay. I have to put in a section break right here. No, it's not right there. It's here? Oh, formatting this is so janky. This is a section all the way up. This is section 3. That one's section 4. But it'll be right here, I think. It can't be. I'll just type it. You know what? Forget it. Okay. Because what I was doing was trying to put the, like, formatting and all that junk, but I think it's too difficult. Except when it's a full page like this one up here. Oh, jeez, where is it? Page 2? Alright, so if we have, we'll call it 14 pages. 3 are other stories. So 11 pages. It took Wallace 11 pages to end. That's pretty good. If he goes the other path, he'll meet up with Ring. It'll be even longer. Ring's story should have like 3 or so at the beginning, I think. One could be moderately short like this one. One will be long, ties into the others, and then I guess one could be super short. On the back of the inn, sleep in a stall, continue traveling. This thing's crazy. I'm having fun, but it's really hard too. So, yeah. That's why I'm only doing this on Monday. I say it all the time. I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to hop on and just write some junk." But it's really hard. So, Monday's good, I think. I'm just going to stop here. I worked all day, so I'm going to grab some food, chill. Thursday, still doing spooky games. Friday, learning things. Trying to play WoW in there somewhere. So, yeah. If the pre-patch drops, I'll definitely stream it. that would be tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna happen tomorrow. So whenever that happens, it'll happen. I don't think they would do it on a day that's not Tuesday because that doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's my sketch. I don't see the people I follow currently on GG. If you're looking for like RP and stuff, definitely check out GG RP.